The opening ceremony of the 35th National Festival of Arts and Culture, called Nafset 2022, with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, was held on Wednesday, the 9th of November 2022, at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon Stadium, Lagos. Nafest was initiated in the 1970s and is organized annually by the National Council for Arts and Culture, NCAC, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Tourism, Culture and National Orientation. The event is also called Unity Fest on the local level and was developed as a post-colonial strategy to promote national unity using a cultural festival. Nafest is hosted by different states each year and spans over the course of 1 week, featuring competitive and non-competitive events, which include musical concerts, dance, games, colloquium, dramatic performances, arts and craft exhibition, herbal fair, food fair, all carried out under a topical theme. Entertainment was provided by our band.
Take it down, even as we announce the arrival of the Onirisha.
The Mobolaji Johnson Arena was practically a beehive of activities, and the ambience could be felt deep within. It was a celebration and appreciation of divergent cultures, artifacts, music, fashion, beauty, creativity, wealth, and endowment in all ramifications. The ceremony was graced by State Executive Council members. Notable among them were the chief host, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State, and his wife, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, Lagos State Deputy Governor, Honorable Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, the Chief Organizer of the event, Otumba Segun Runshewe, OON, Erelu Abiola Dosumu, Okpelua of Lagos, Chief Lateef Aderibigbe Ajose, Princess Sarah Adebisi Shoson, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Prince Bisi Olatilo, the Chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, among many others. Royal fathers present were the Oni of Ife, Oni Adeyeye Nito Ogunwusi, the Alara of Ilara Kingdom, Oba Olufolarin Ogunsanwo, the Oniru of Iru Land, Oba Mogbalahon Lawal. There were special and energetic performances by talking drummer Ara, as well as Adewale Ayuba, Fuji sensation. There was also a breathtaking and colorful calisthenic display by the children of Lagos, depicting the unity of Nigeria.
Get ready!
Nafest 2022 was read by Mrs. Ann Kalu. The march past by all the state contingents started with Abia State and ended with Lagos State, the host state.
2022. Thank you so much, Abia
sir. Please, so. Yes. Hello. No stand up.
While speaking at the ceremony, the Lagos State Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, pharmacist Mrs. Uzamata Kimbile Yusuf, expressed delight at the work put in place by the state through the organizing committee. She commended the state for its proactiveness in planning for the festival.
The Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture started the process of this year's Nafset preparation since last year. Immediately, Lagos State was announced as the host for the 2022 during the closing ceremony of the 2021 edition in Ekiti State. Lagos prides itself as a peaceful state known for cohabiting and coexisting in unity, despite the differences in ethnicity and languages. Lagos remains a reference point for what an ideal state exemplifies. As the Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, I want to implore everyone here present, especially our contingents from other states across the country, to use the opportunity of this festival to explore the abundant tourism potentials in different parts of Lagos State.
The chief organizer of the festival, Otumba Olusegun Rushiwe, OON, while giving his speech, referred to the occasion as the beginning of good things to come for Nigeria and acknowledged Lagos State as a benchmark and pioneer state for relatively all laudable activities in the country.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I need to tell us, if we need to understand, we were the most united country in the world. Something went wrong. And that's why I'm happy that the Oni of Ife is seated here today, that we want to change the narratives of Nigeria. And that is why I met the Chief of Defense Staff, General Irabor. I said, enough is enough. Distance between the military and civilian is too wide. And that's why Irabor approved for us, for the first time in the history of Carnival and Nafset in Nigeria, all the 3 bands of Nigerian Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Please, can you give me a sound from the band, please? That is Nigerian for us. We have started uniting Nigerian from today, and something must change. Anybody who is against Nigeria moving to the next level, God will put them to sleep, because this country must be great again.
He commended the governor of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for his swift response to the call from the council.
And ladies and gentlemen, please permit me, I need to describe Governor Sanwo-Olu as a man who speaks for action, who do things well. When we visited Lagos in October, he said to me, the venue for Nafset should be ready. I said, can this governor be serious? After 6 weeks, Governor Sanwo-Olu did something I must unveil to all Nigerians. The National Stadium that has been abandoned for 25 years, Governor Sanwo-Olu approved to give it a facelift. Governor Sanwo-Olu did not say because it's not for Lagos State, the man is interested in what built Nigeria together. Other people should learn from this. I thank Governor Sanwo-Olu for this wonderful opportunity.
The executive governor of Lagos State, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while officially declaring the festival open, commended the organizers, especially the chief organizer, Otumba Olusegun Rushiwe, OON, for a job well done. He made it clear that his administration is deliberate on promoting every aspect of tourism, arts and culture, and stressed the need for unity and peaceful coexistence.
I stand here with great pride as today marks the official beginning and as the chief host of the 35th edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, a festival that aims to unite and showcase the rich and diverse culture of this great country. This year's edition has been tagged Eco Nafset 2022 with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, a theme which I believe is most appropriate at a time like this in our country. A theme which the Director General of Nafset himself has ably described as a unifier, as a melting point of our country, as a place that brings us together in respect of our ethnicity, our religious bias, or what part of the country we come from. Because with culture and art, we know no diversity. We are one nation that is joined together as a people, and that has been demonstrated here in Lagos with the attendance of 29 states, and we're still expecting 1 or 2 more even before the end of today. I think they all deserve a round of applause.
He ended by opening a symbolic calabash to officially declare open the Eco Nafset 2022.
We're doing the official opening ceremony and declaration with the opening of this big calabash, which is a replica of our heritage as a people. And inside the calabash, there's so many things that is Nigerian. These are granuts, We have cola nuts, we have bitter cola, we have all sort of. It is a transformation and an expression of our rich cultural heritage as a people. I bring to you Nafset 2022. Thank you very much.
Day 2 of the 35th Nafest, Eco Nafest 2022, with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, marked the commencement of competitive events, which included children music competition, traditional board game competition, children craft and essay competition, indigenous fabrics and fashion, drama and interior decoration competition, among others. Anchors for the day were Paul Simon Bulus and Alex Osho. The event had in attendance, notable among them were the chief organizer, Otumba Olusegun Rishiwe, OON, the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, pharmacist Mrs. Uzamata Kimbile Yusuf, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State, and Commissioners of Tourism, Arts and Culture from different states of the Federation. While declaring the competitive events open, the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Segun Rishiwe, OON, made it clear that the idea behind the children's competitive events of the festival is basically to catch them young. He enjoined everyone present to get acquainted with people from other parts of the country, as Nafest is a unifying festival.
It is my pleasure this afternoon for us to commence the drama here, and I want to assure you it's going to speak for us as a people. The whole idea of this is for us to start catching our people very young and letting them understand the beauty of our culture and how it can help us to build a united Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will appeal to every one of us to be calm. 11 states will be competing, and I'm sure at the end of the day, we'll see the beauty of our great country. But please, ladies and gentlemen, like the commissioners have started doing, I've seen, let every one of us start making friends from the south, from the east, from the west, everywhere. Let's get to know each other better. And I'm assuring you, at the end of this program, we'll be able to have achieved a better unity for our country and a better understanding. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you wonderful outing this afternoon and best of luck to all the competitors. Good afternoon and God bless you all.
Competition started with beautiful cultural and symbolic dance performances. First, from the host, Lagos State, followed by Oyo State, Rivers State, Bayelsa State, Delta, and then Ogun State. The second segment of the competitive events was the Indigenous Fabric and Fashion Competition, which was basically about how indigenous fabrics can be incorporated into making male and female outfits for corporate organizations, with emphasis on outfits for security guards, waiters, waitresses, receptionists, and chefs. Also at the NIS premises were energetic music and dance performances by Obiatorogbo, a Yoruba classical ballet. Eco Nafest 2022 Day 2 was quite colorful and super interesting, as young people energetically displayed in style and vigor the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria through dance, music, and fashion. Day 3 of the 35th edition of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, ECO Nafset 2022, with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, was held on Friday, the 12th of November 2022 at the National Institute for Sports, NIS complex of the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. It started with a stakeholders roundtable on entrepreneurship, focusing on investment opportunities in a direct value chain. Members of the panel included the Chief Organizer, Otumba Olusegun Rushiwe, OON, Ambassador Jonathan Oluwole Koka, OON, former Ambassador of Nigeria to the People's Republic of China, and Chairman of the occasion, Pharmacist Mrs. Uzamata Kimbile Yusuf, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State, Mrs. Toye Briggs, Rivers State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Uche Ohia, Imo State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, among others. Brief citations of the resource persons were read by the anchor, Mrs. Ann Kalu. While delivering the opening remarks at the stakeholders roundtable, the chairman, Nafset 2022, Otumba Olusegun Rushiwe, OON, made it clear that no one can tell the Nigerian story better than Nigerians, adding that economic empowerment is key in moving the nation forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to appeal to all of us. Nobody can tell Nigerian story. We are the ones to tell Nigerian story. Every component of NAFES is to come back with economic empowerment. And that is why today I'm particularly very grateful that the National Population Commission saw this platform of all the 36 states plus Abuja, and they took advantage of it. How more serious can an organization be? Please, they deserve a round of applause. The spirit of New NAFEST started in Rivers in 2018, where the governor turned the entire sector into something else. The governor gave a wonderful donation to every state council to go and start producing new costumes. Most of the things you see going on, we must give credit to people who do well in Nigeria. Not when people do bad things, we start celebrating them. Who is going to celebrate the good ones? So the time has come. We must start to celebrate our best. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I also come back with Chief M.K. Abiola. He said something before he died. He said no matter how intelligent a man is or a woman, he or she cannot clap with one hand. He needs the two. Can the whole Nigerian join Governor Sanwo-Olu to clap for the best of Nigerians? And I wish you well. God bless you all.
The chairman of the roundtable, Ambassador Jonathan Oluwole Koka, expressed delight at the project, especially on the theme. He gave an overview of entrepreneurship vis-a-vis the cultural sector and emphasized the need to harness the economic potentials of our cultural heritage for our common good.
But permit me to flag off the exercise by inviting us to reflect on the word entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the sum total of the efforts to develop, organize, and run a new business with the mind of generating profit while taking on financial risk. It is the product of at least 7 qualities. The first is the vision of the entrepreneur, who has seen an opportunity worth pursuing. It is born out of the passion to render a service that is needed and capable of returning profit on investment. It is motivated by the will to succeed, and it is not averse to risk-taking. It often starts from a sense of curiosity, which soon yields way to creativity in the effort to satisfy the promise of curiosity. It requires guts that confidence brings for it to succeed. Entrepreneurship comes in different shapes and sizes. It can be a small business, a scalable start-up after the period of infancy, growing up. It can be a large or a social entrepreneurship.
Goodwill messages were delivered by Honorable Eyitayo Yetunji, representative of the Chairman, National Population Commission, Honorable Nasir Isa Kwara. He commended the efforts of Otumba Segun Rushiwe in promoting culture and tourism in Nigeria and gave some vital information on the next project of the National Population Commission, which is the 2023 National Census.
The next census that we're conducting is a people-oriented census. Enumerating people is not like counting stones, counting bottles. When you are enumerating people, you are dealing with people. And that's why we have chosen as our theme for the next census, get the people involved. Everyone counts, and therefore everyone should be counted. The Culture and Tourism and Nafset program has given us a very good platform where we can meet with peoples from every part of Nigeria. And we have come to identify with this great program so that those of us who have come for this program will be able to take this message back to our respective states, that the 2023 census that is scheduled to be conducted in April 2023 is a census about the people. We have deployed the latest technology in order to ensure that no one is left behind. The census that is to be conducted is a fully digital census.
Dr. Stanley Timenyo from the Theatre Arts Department of the University of Uyo delivered the first paper on the theme, Culture and Peaceful Coexistence. He emphasized on the need for Nigeria to give a good impression of herself using her diverse cultural heritage as well as the divergent culture as a unifying force. The next presentation was on investment opportunities in our direct value chain, delivered by Mrs. J. Nwade of the Department of Industrial Design, School of Arts, Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, with emphasis on production, marketing and innovation. At the end of the presentations, there was an interactive session where questions were raised on policies of the UN on culture and youth empowerment, as well as the influence of religion on our indigenous culture. All the questions raised were answered by the resource persons. After the stakeholders' roundtable, competitive events continued with indigenous music and dance competitions. It was indeed a fun-filled day with breathtaking and exciting performances. On day 5 of the Eko Nafest 2022 event, the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, hosted children participants of Nafest at the Lagos Parliament, Lagos House, Marina. In attendance at the event were the Director General of the National Festival for Arts and Culture, Otumba Segun Rushiwe, OON, Special Advisor to Governor Sanwo-Olu on Tourism, Arts and Culture, Barrister Olufemi Martins, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State, Pharmacist Uzamat Akimbile Yusuf, who led her counterparts from Benue, Rivers, Delta, Imo, and Edo states. The Eko Nafest activity, hosted by First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, began with a cultural presentation by Footprints of David Group. In her remark, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu said Lagos, being the host of the 2022 edition of Nafest, has provided superb hospitality for participants who came from the different geopolitical zones of the country.
Culture is a way of life. In Africa, we are blessed with traditions and values that promote peace and harmony. We have a culture that places emphasis on community, in which everybody minds everybody's business, and not a situation where individuals only mind his or her own business. In those days, when one child does not go to school and we see them outside on the road, all the mothers in that community will be involved and will be the mother for that child. In putting this in context with regard to security challenges confronting our nation today, the lesson here is that anything we notice anytime we notice anything untoward, we must speak up and speak out loudly, regardless of whether or not we are directly affected by the potential security threats.
Speaking on the children who emerged overall best in their various categories of competition, she said the Lagos State government has provided laptops, educational tablets with 1-year free internet subscription, airtime among other tangible gifts to aid learning for them. Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu said she believes children are the leaders of tomorrow and encouraged them to be deliberate about their future if the must turn out successful. She also advocated for peace, unity and love among Nigerians, saying our diversity should be our strength to overcome every challenge.
We want you to be part of the history too. We want you to know our history and at the same time enjoy your time here. This is why we have chosen this particular venue. We will also be presenting gifts to all the students who have participated in one competition or the other. You are all winners, children. For us, you will all go back home with gifts, including the overall winners. We have decided to invest in our children. We do not play with our children at all. And so some of the gifts that we want to give our children today are a laptop for the first, second, and third child. Tablets, we have a month, and that is why we kept on asking the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Arts, how many children are taking part in this exercise. But the lucky ones, and I'm sure it's the best of the best that have been brought to this place, the best from each state. And so we have winners, and we will be presenting them with our tablets to take away so that they can use it. Because we're in the digital era now, and the children will explore.
After her remarks, the First Lady presented gift items to every child present at the occasion who were grouped in the geopolitical zones of the country. She also presented gift items to all the Commissioners of Tourism, Arts and Culture in attendance, as well as Otumba Segun Rushewe, who also reciprocated the gesture by presenting a gift item to Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. The National Festival of Arts and Culture, Eko Nafset 2022, continued with an array of cultural events on Saturday, the 12th of November 2022, at the National Institute for Sports, NIS Complex, Surulere, Lagos. Notable personalities in attendance were the Chief Organizer, Otumba Segun Rushewe, OON, the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Professor Ojo Bakare, Honorable Commissioner for Tourism, Ekiti State, among many others. Also, being the official closing day of the Free Skills Acquisition Program, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe took a brief tour around the Skill Acquisition Center, where he appreciated participants for making use of the opportunity provided for them to learn new skills. He urged them to take what they have acquired seriously and make the best out of it. He later presented certificates to participants who acquired skills in makeup artistry, traditional hairstyling, production of air fresheners, soap making, Ankara bags, clothes and shoes, as well as baskets weaving. The participants were full of excitement as they expressed gratitude to the organizers of the Eko Nafset 2022 for providing the skills acquisition platform. There was also the traditional cuisine competition, which started with very energetic dance performances by contingents of all participating states. Before accessing the cuisine exhibition huts, the chairman, Eko Nafset 2022, Otumba Segun Rushewe, performed the symbolic breaking of kola nuts and unveiling of fruits. He said there is no reason for Nigerians to disagree, adding that it's high time the country began to celebrate its own, considering its vast and diverse culture, which according to him is a huge strength that ought to unite the country. He then proceeded to access the cultural cuisine exhibition huts of all the participating states, which started with Niger State and ended with Rivers State. Although there was a noticeable decline in attendance compared to the previous days, the energy, fun and excitement that come with the festival was the same, with singing, drumming, dancing and colorful display of different outfits, showcasing different cultures. On the bandstand, as promised earlier by the organizers of the festival, was legendary Afro Juju sensation, Sir Shino Peters and the Lariwo of Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos, came alive and was once again a microcosm of Nigeria during the official closing ceremony of the National Festival of Arts and Culture, Eko Nafest 2022, with the theme Culture and Peaceful Coexistence, held on Sunday, the 13th of November 2022. It was a carnival-like display as there were different cultural troupes and masquerades. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, represented Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu at the event. The Chief Organizer, Otumba Olusegun Rushewe, DG National Council for Arts and Culture. The Oba of Lagos was represented by Lagos White Cap Chiefs. Otumba Femi Pedro, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Prince Bisi Olatilo, the Chairman and CEO Biscon Communications, among many others. A colorful march past of all participating states and the FCT was observed in alphabetical order. It was indeed a splendid sight to behold. special performances by legendary Waka music sensation Queen Salawa Beni. While speaking at the ceremony, the man behind the Nafset 2022 project, Otumba Segun Rushewe, stated that it's time to appreciate our culture and stop all forms of cultural biases.
Today, I want to report back to Mr. Governor that Nigerian has changed from what he used to be. No more, where do you come from? No more, who are you? Now we believe in one united Nigeria by the platform of Nafset, and that is the agreement of all the states. You can see all the states here present is a testimony of fact that we don't need to fight ourselves in Nigeria, but to celebrate our strength as a people. But sir, Chief MKO Abiola, before he died, he left something, but we always take it for granted. He said, no matter how a woman or a man is, he or she cannot clap with one hand. I beg the whole Nigeria to join hands. Let's clap with Lagos State to change the history of this country. Thank you very much and good afternoon. God bless you.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, who represented Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, unveiled the 37 natural wonders of Nigeria, and while delivering his speech, expressed delight at the successful hosting of the festival. He spoke about the unifying role that the cultural competition plays in uniting Nigeria.
And I'm very pleased that the expectations of these children were not dashed, as some of them are now proud owners of laptops, tablets, and other gifts courtesy of our Mama Nafset. That is the First Lady of Lagos State. I must therefore commend the concept of carrying these young school children along in this cultural event. This is the best way we can sustain, protect, and preserve our culture for posterity. Because people have observed over the years that we are not enhancing our culture, that our children cannot even speak our languages. So this is an example of what we need to do to make sure that our culture, which is what defines us as a people, remains. If not, we will be lost. But I know that with Nafset, we as Nigerians will never be lost. The main organizers of this event, which is the National Council of Arts and Culture, should continue to engage more children in this competition, introducing them to our cultural heritage and sustaining the children corner of this competition so that more talents can be discovered and groomed appropriately.
He officially declared Eko Nafset 2022 closed afterwards. A certificate and awards presentation session followed next as computers from the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, were presented to select children from Rivers, Bayelsa and Ekiti states for their exceptional performance in different events at the Eko Nafset 2022. They were received by Tourism, Arts and Culture Commissioners from those states. Certificates of participation were also presented to all participating and observer states. Special awards were presented to Rivers State, Ekiti State and Delta State. The award for largest contingents at Eko Nafset 2022 went to Rivers and Kaduna states, who stormed Eko Nafset 2022 with 1,600 contingents respectively. DG Special Awards were presented to the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, who was named Mama Nafset, while that of Host State Hospitality went to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State. Winners of all competitive events performed at the festival were announced and prizes were presented. The events include cultural cuisine, children's essay writing competition, children's art and craft, archery, drama competition, among others. All states and the FCT were presented the 37 cultural wonders by the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, for their respective state governors. Otumba Segun Rushewe also presented a special portrait to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, which was received by his deputy, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat. At the end of it all, the host, Lagos State, emerged as the overall winner of Eko Nafset 2022, closely followed by Rivers State, Bayelsa, and Ekiti State. It was celebration galore for the host state, and runners-up as they celebrated their well-deserved victory at the Èkó Nafset 2022. From Biscon Communications, it's congratulations to Lagos State and the National Council for Arts and Culture on the successful hosting of the Èkó Nafset 2022 event.